The Bengals front office just made a move that no one saw coming. And at the center of it all, Trey Hendrickson, the heart and soul of this Bengals defense. Let's break it all down. But before we jump into this major update, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, drop a like, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so you never miss a single Bengals update. This channel is your home for everything orange and black. Now, let's get into it. For weeks, the buzz around Trey Hendrickson's future has been quiet. Maybe too quiet. He's been vocal about wanting a long-term deal. Meanwhile, Cincinnati? They've been playing it conservative, reportedly only offering a one-year extension with a small pay bump. That offer didn't sit right with Hendrickson, a player who's racked up double-digit sacks in 3 straight seasons and anchored this defense during the team's playoff runs deserves more, and he knows it. But now, insiders are saying the Bengals are preparing to flip the script. According to Bleacher Report's Gary Davenport, the Bengals are considering a massive contract extension, one that could push over $100 million in total value. Yes, $100 million for a player over 30. That's a huge shift from Cincinnati's usual playbook. Why now? Because the Bengals know what's coming. Joe Burrow is healthy. The Super Bowl window is wide open. And keeping a dominant edge rusher like Hendrickson on the roster long-term sends a message. This team is all in. They're not building for the future. They're attacking the present. And if this extension gets finalized, it won't just be a win for Hendrickson. It'll be a warning shot to the entire AFC North. The jungle is ready. Comment below. Do you think Hendrickson deserves a 3 or 4 year deal? Or should the Bengals stick with short-term security? We'll keep you updated as soon as this story develops. Until then, subscribe and stay locked in. This is Bengals football. This is our time. If the Bengals are serious about making a deep playoff run, if they truly believe this is a championship caliber roster, then they have no choice but to lock in Trey Hendrickson. But here's the issue. With every day that passes, that deal feels more and more unlikely. According to league insiders, the rumored deal on the table is a 3-year extension, stacked on top of Hendrickson's current contract, bringing the total value to a staggering $103 million. That's not just a raise, it's a statement. What makes this situation even more fascinating is the shift in philosophy. Historically, Cincinnati has been conservative with veterans over 30. They've shown caution, not commitment. But if they follow through and hand Hendrickson that kind of long-term deal, it would shatter the old narrative, the one where the Bengals front office won't pay their stars. It's true, they've already extended Jamar Chase. They've worked on keeping T. Higgins around. But extending Hendrickson would silence all doubts. It would signal that this team isn't just planning for the future. It's going all in right now. And let's be real, Hendrickson deserves it. He's not just producing, he's dominating. Double-digit sacks, relentless motor, emotional leader. He's in his prime, and every snap shows it. There's no reason to question whether he can live up to that contract. The real question is whether the Bengals are finally ready to reward elite performance, even if it comes with a heavy price tag. With Joe Burrow entering his core Super Bowl window, and Chase and Higgins locked in for the next 4 years, this is the moment. The stadium is packed. The fan base is fired up. The roster is loaded. What the Bengals do with Trey Hendrickson next could define the next era of football in Cincinnati. Ask yourself this. Can the Bengals really go on a deep playoff run without Trey Hendrickson? For anyone who watched this defense last season, the answer feels obvious. Hendrickson wasn't just a key player. He was the pass rush. Without him, the pressure disappeared. And in tight playoff games, that's the difference between going home early or playing in February. Yes, maybe someone younger could step up. Maybe. But you don't replace elite edge production just by hoping. Hendrickson is a proven game changer, and letting him walk would create a hole this defense can't easily fill. That brings us to Duke Tobin and the Bengals front office. The decision is on their desk now. Do you pay the man or gamble on replacing him? And if they do move forward with that rumored 3-year extension, insiders believe the structure will lean heavily on guaranteed money early in the deal, front-loaded and flexible. A structure similar to what we saw with Max Crosby in Las Vegas, where the first couple years are secured, but the team has a clean out if things go south later on. It's a smart compromise. Hendrickson gets paid and gets his extension, and the Bengals protect themselves in case age starts to catch up. For both sides, it might be the only path forward. But here's the bigger picture. If the Bengals believe they're a legitimate contender, if they think this is their time to strike, then holding on to one of the NFL's most productive edge rushers should be a no-brainer. Hendrickson wants to stay. He wants to win here. The only question is, will the Bengals match that same energy? Trey Hendrickson is still under contract. The Bengals owe him roughly $66 million, and he agreed to play under that deal, yet he's choosing to sit out. And here's where things get complicated. Fans love his passion. They respect his fire on the field. But sitting out, while still under a valid contract, sends a mixed message. It puts pressure on the team, sure, but it also draws criticism. Everyone has the right to express frustration, especially when they feel undervalued. But when you're one of the cornerstones of a franchise and you opt to stay off the field, it raises tough questions about leadership and accountability. It's not just on Hendrickson, though. The Bengals front office hasn't handled this smoothly either. The silence, the hesitation, it's created tension that could have been avoided with earlier communication or a clear plan. Here's what matters now. If the Bengals go ahead and offer a new extension, they need protection, structured guarantees, potential outs, and a safety net if Hendrickson's performance declines in the future. Something similar to the deal Max Crosby got in Vegas, where the team could exit late in the deal without cap consequences. Because let's face it, if Hendrickson's sitting out now, what's stopping him from doing it again 2 years from now if the market shifts? That's the growing concern around the league. Players want long-term deals, but also want flexibility to adjust if the market rises, even if they're already locked in. It's a tough balance. Hendrickson deserves to be paid like a top edge rusher, no doubt. But at the same time, honoring the deal you signed matters, too, especially for a team built around chemistry, discipline, and long-term vision. Right now, this standoff feels like a collision course, and how it ends could say a lot about the future culture in Cincinnati. This entire situation with Trey Hendrickson has become more than just contract negotiations. It's a full-blown distraction, and that's a real concern for a team with Super Bowl ambitions. Sitting out, going public, stirring headlines, whether intentional or not, it's pulling focus away from the field. And while we live in an age where nothing stays private for long, how this was handled matters. Meetings with the front office, with Mike Brown, with Duke Tobin, those should have stayed behind closed doors. But instead, Hendrickson took things to the public stage. Press conferences, social media whispers, constant speculation. It's added noise to a locker room that thrives on focus and cohesion. Still, this isn't black and white. Because if Hendrickson can continue producing the way he has, if he stays that same relentless force off the edge, then yes, locking him up now could prove to be a brilliant move, especially with the pass rusher market exploding year after year. That's the gamble. The Bengals have to look at this not just as a contract, but as a bet on what Hendrickson will be 2 to 3 years from now. Can he still be elite? Or will age and wear catch up with him? There's risk either way. Letting him walk could create a massive hole on defense. Extending him could backfire if production dips. This is the kind of decision that defines franchises, bold moves, or cautious retreats. The Bengals are standing at a crossroads. Which way they turn will shape the identity of this team for seasons to come. This is where it gets real. The Bengals are standing on a line, and whichever direction they step could define the next chapter of this franchise. Because if they let Trey Hendrickson walk, and he lands somewhere like Detroit, where rumors have already begun swirling, and then thrives, imagine watching him help another team reach the Super Bowl while Cincinnati is left wondering what if. That's the kind of regret that stings for years. The truth is simple. You don't let go of elite pass rushers in their prime unless you absolutely have to. Joe Burrow can't carry this team alone, not when the AFC is stacked and margins are razor thin. Hendrickson is the kind of player who shifts games. One strip sack in January that can punch your ticket to the next round. And maybe this is bigger than just one player. Because if the Bengals step up and give Hendrickson that extension, if they prove they're willing to reward performance and invest in winning, it might just silence the tired old narrative that they won't spend, that they don't go the extra mile. This is their chance to show they've changed. A smart, flexible deal with Hendrickson could be more than a contract. It could be a message, a statement that Cincinnati is all in on winning now. Whether the gamble pays off in sacks or headlines, one thing's for sure. The clock is ticking, and every move from here matters.